by your art, my dearest mother, you've put these wild waters into their roar. Allay them. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature, and her dad fell to pieces. Cried to knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perish!
Be collected! No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there is no harm done.
Woe the day!
No harm! I have done nothing but in care of thee. Of thee, my dear one. Of thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand. I have with such provision in mine art so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as a hair betide any creature on the vessel, which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now know farther.
You have often begun to tell me of what I am, but stopped, and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay not yet.
The hour is now come. Obey, and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst.
Certainly, madam, I can. 'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance. Had I not once 4 or 5 women that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Your mother was the Duchess of Milan.
Are you not my mother?
Thou art my daughter, and I was Duchess of Milan, and thou mine only heir, and princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was it we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly holp hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the team that I had turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you farther.
My sister, thy aunt, called Antonia, she who next thyself of all the world I loved, and to her put the manage of my state. And Prospera, the prime duchess, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those being all my study, the government I cast upon my sister, and my state grew stranger. Dost thou attend me?
Most heedfully.
Thy aunt, being once perfected, how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash, new created creatures that were mine, I say, changed them, having key to both officer and office, set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased her ear. Thou attendest not.
No, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind by that which, but for being so retired, or prized all popular rate, in my false sister awaked an evil nature. And my trust, like a good parent, did beget of her a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was. She being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact. To credit her own lie, she did believe she was indeed the Duchess, out of the substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty. Hence her ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, madam, could cure deafness.
Me, poor woman, my library was dukedom large enough. Confederates, so dry was she for sway with the King of Naples, to pay him annual tribute, to do him homage, to subject her coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stupor.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad daughters.
Now the King of Naples, being enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my sister's suit, which was that he, in lieu of I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all its honours upon my sister. Whereon a treacherous army levied, one midnight fated for the purpose, did Antonia open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose did hurry thence me, and thy crying self.
Alack, I'm not remembering how I cried out then will cry it o'er again. 'Tis a hint that rings mine eyes to it. Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, daughter. My tale provokes this question. Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they had prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quitted, and there they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared at us, to sigh to the wind whose pity sighing back again did us with loving wrong.
What trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast, that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with the fortitude from heaven, while I decked the sea with drops full salt under my birthing ground.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, he then being appointed master of the design, did give us, along with such necessaries which since have steaded much. So, of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Oh, that I might but ever see them, man!
Sit still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here on this island we arrived, and here hath I, thy schoolmistress, made thee more profit than other princesses can, who have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. But now pray you, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
Not thus far forth. By accident most strange, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And by my prescience, I find that my zenith doth depend on a most auspicious star. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. It is a good dullness. Give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, my servant. Come. I am ready now. Come, my Ariel. Come.
All hail, great master. Great madam, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding, task Ariel and all my quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I border the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seem to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his red trident shake.
Oh, my brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine, and quit the vessel, they all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds not hair, was the first man that leaped. He cried, hell is empty, and all the devils are here. Hell is empty, And all the devils are here! Ah!
Oh, that's my spirit, but was this not nigh shore?
Close by, my mistress.
Are they safe, Ariel?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling off the air with sighs. In an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship. In the deep nook, there, she's hid. The mariners, all on the hatches stowed, who, with a charm, joined to their suffered labour, I have left asleep. And as for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they all have met again and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perished.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee, what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty!
Before the time is out? No more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served thee